All right, so here we go. So again, this is going to be super, super quick. I just want to give you a very brief overview on how to kind of take the basic template mouth that we already know, the basic template face, and how do we turn that into a happy face or a frowny face. So, super, super simple. I assure you guys are going to master this. Now, again, just like whenever we did the face before, is this the perfect way to draw a mouth? Absolutely, positively not. This is a template, right? This is going to give you something to base your actual drawing on. It's like a foundation, right? If you are literally doing the face that I showed you how to draw, and that's where you're stopping with your level of detail or anything else, you're not giving enough, right? Push it so that it feels more realistic. And the way to do that is literally just look off of observation. Look at people sitting around you and figure out what do their faces look different than my weird template guy, right? So just kind of think about it that way. Again, these are just templates to give you something to go on rather than just trying to like freehand the whole thing. So a lot of times, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times at this point, maybe whenever you start drawing, specifically like a happy face, right? You kind of go through and you know, look, there you go. That's you do like a letter D, and somehow magically that's an open mouth, right? So here you go, like a little bit of an overhang, letter D. And here's my guy. Oh boy, right? So he's super happy. Everyone's happy to see him. And then I want him to smile, so what do you do, of course? You just do like this here. All right, now he's smiling. And then if he has braces on, I just go like this, and somehow magically it's braces, right? And then little wires between them. Right, there you go. Now he's got braces, give him some eyebrows, right? But it's not like, it looks like it looks like a boat. Right? Like, here's, boat mouth. Do not draw boat mouth, right? Okay, all right, don't do boat mouth. That's not good. Like I said, keep in mind, this is absolutely just a template, but I still want to give you something to go on, okay? So, very quickly, I'm just going to hammer through and draw up a very quick version of what we've already talked about, which is our template mouth, right? So we kind of start with that, just a singular line. Yeah.
When we do all this, do you want to say we're doing the marker? Do we do it pencil first?
Cannot.
Okay.
Only marker can touch that page. Only crayon can touch that page. Now, there are plenty of things in this world that have loopholes, and you are more than welcome to exploit any loophole that you can figure out. But I assure you, only marker can touch that page. So, we've got this nice, perfectly beautiful horizontal line. I assume I used a ruler. Then, of course, again, blocking in the mouth. We've already talked about that template of the mouth. So you kind of do like the weird little circly-do, and like a triangle, and then kind of this like bottom triangle or bottom trapezoidal looking thing, right? Again, we've already talked about this stuff. But basically, two triangles in a circle. Or two turntables and a microphone, either or. Okay, so we've got two triangles and a circle, and that basically gives us our mouth. Now again, this is a template of a mouth. It is not beautiful, it is not unique or a snowflake in any way. That would be ridiculous. It's just a drawing. But what you're going to do is I'm going to show you very quickly how we're going to transform this A into a happy face, and then B, we're going to take that happy face, we're going to open the mouth and show you how to do some teeth inside. Okay? Again, totally a template, so don't get caught up that this is the perfect way to do it. Just as a template, just as a foundation. Okay? So, here's how I am able to kind of figure out how to do a basic mouth. So first things first, whenever you smile, of course, you bring up the edges of your mouth, right? Well, your smile doesn't look like that. That would be weird, even if you had lipstick on. Like, that's weird. This person is like the Joker. Like, it's not, she had like surgery to cut her mouth open that wide. Don't do that. No. Okay, so try to be a little less serious. What we're going to do, we're going to figure out kind of the top of that little pyramid there. I'm going to kind of take the corners of my mouth and kind of find this little intersection point. And I'm going to say that that's about how high that mouth is going to come. See what I did? So the top of the pyramid and like the corners of the mouth. Okay? Now again, remember this is a template. This is not absolutely perfect, but I'm going to take that kind of center point, and just for the sake of argument, I'm going to make kind of like a V shape. This V shape is at least going to give me something to go on. Obviously, this V is going to be curved eventually. So we kind of have, there's the kind of arc of our mouth, right? But if you think whenever you smile, I'll do this real quick. Oh gosh, that's far too close. Hold on. Oh, okay. If you think whenever you smile, hello. Whenever you're smiling, right? And I go like this here, one, right? My mouth, right? The center or the corners go up, but the center basically, right? It doesn't really go anywhere. So this happens. My muscles over on the side happens, but the middle stays basically the same. Okay. All right. Whoa. Okay. So that's why we bring the corners up, but we're going to leave that center basically where it is. And all we're going to do is kind of take our original center and kind of bring him up to the corners. So we get like a curved banana peel. Okay. Curved banana peel. All right. Then with the bottom lip, again, that bottom lip is going to stay basically where it is, excuse me. And we're just going to bring that on up as well. Again, totally still very cartoony looking, but at least it's better than, you know, the letter U. Right? Throw a couple little wrinkles in there. Maybe you got some rinky dinks where the skin kind of folds. And that's basically a smile right there. Now again, template. I stress, template. Right? But that at least gives you something to go on significantly better than whatever's going on over here. Right? This guy is angry now because you'll never draw him again. There's no reason to. All right, so now, next step. How do I take this mouth and make it open so I can put teeth inside of it? Well, I'm going to show you, again, for the sake of our template, I'm going to show you an insanely quick and simple way to go. Okay, you ready? It's like magic. All right, so I've got my top lip. I've got my bottom lip. I'm going to draw another bottom lip. Here we go. All I'm doing, drawing another bottom lip. And when you draw a third lip on there, it's almost like that middle lip becomes negative space. And now you've got an open mouth. Right? Again, totally a template, not the greatest art lesson in the world, but it gives you something to go on. Right? Again, better than, you know, like, oh boy. Okay? Finally, very finally, think about your teeth. Now, again, I know that you desperately think that your teeth line up perfectly. They don't. You don't have chiclets for teeth. No. Right? Do they still even make chiclets anymore? Is that a thing? Chiclet, little tiny gum? I don't know. They're little tiny squares. I don't know. It's a horribly aged reference. Okay, so your teeth, right? Your teeth. You've got kind of your front row of teeth, and of course you got your big in front guys there. Right, your big front row of teeth. And you don't have to draw this, I'm just kind of showing you. Then, of course, going back, you've got your next row. And they're kind of these, like, little, I don't know, what would you say? Little, like, archways, right? It's kind of your teeth, right? You've got your bottom row of teeth, and they're basically doing the same thing. You've got your little tiny guys in the front, but they don't quite line up nice and perfect, right? Because let's be fair, over years and years of eating deliciously healthy candy bars and things, maybe like you chipped a tooth here, you know, you got like a canine over there, so we can, well, these are more like vampires, let's do canines over there. You could do a vampire if you wanted to, like ha, 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 ha. It's kind of, yeah, it's Halloween time, right? But again, you know, make them imperfect. That's what teeth look like, right? Now think about taking into account, right? So we've got kind of the lineup, right? Then you have to take into account two other things. One, that your teeth are not just squares floating in three-dimensional space. They're not. Your teeth are much more kind of like a weird-looking cylinder. They've got that little like molar part of it that kind of sits in there, and that's where all your food gets stuck. And that's why you guys brush your teeth, I hope. And then you've got your kind of tooth, and the actual tooth itself has that, you've all seen that weird little gum part, and your gum kind of sits in there a little bit. So like your actual tooth is more of this kind of shape, right? This kind of weird, kind of squashed cylinder, if you would. Something like that, right? So think about the fact that these are three-dimensional, and because they're three-dimensional, they're also sitting on like a horseshoe shape, right? Your teeth go into your mouth, right? You've got your little teeth here, and they kind of go back into space. Little teeth here, and they kind of go back into space. So they're never going to be this nice, perfect lineup. So the way we're going to mimic that, again, this is a whole lot to look at, but the way we're going to mimic that going back into space is, again, kind of a nice little trick. Basically, think about shoving teeth in this space. I'm not going to see a whole lot of them, right? So as they go back into space, basically I'm just going to have them slightly, I'll go over here, slightly kind of curve with the mouth. So I'll have kind of my front teeth, right? My little vampire teeth kind of going here, and then the little guys kind of going here. See how they slightly curve back into the face, just slightly. And after about this secondary row here, you can kind of let it just fade off into the darkness, because I'm not really going to see any little extra detail. I can do the same on the bottom as well. I'll show you what it looks like inside the mouth in a second. But think about this as well. I'm going to zoom out here real quick. Whoa, that's zooming. Hello again. Hello again, dear friend. All right, so check it. There's my teeth, all right? All right. Whenever I smile, whenever you smile, no one goes like this. Right? This looks like you're constipated. Don't be constipated. Instead, whenever you actually smile, we mainly show our front teeth right here on the top. Very rarely do we show the bottom teeth. We just don't. Unless you're like a werewolf, you don't need to show your bottom teeth. So whenever you smile, right, you kind of show, you barely see any bottom teeth. Right? You just don't. So again, don't smile like this. Your person is not grinding their teeth. Instead, they're smiling. Okay? All right. So, again, what does that look like, right? Well, let's find out. Whoa, there's our boat again. All right, so from scratch here, from scratch again, I'm just going to hammer through again. You guys don't have to for right now. So I'm just going to hammer through a mouth the same way that you guys just learned. Well, and remember too, the only difference between you and I truly right now is the fact that I've just made like 80 of these. That's all. I mean, there's nothing magical to it, you know. I'm not saying it's not cool. I watch people draw all the time, but there's nothing magical. It's just I've done a whole bunch of them, you know. All right. So I've got my basic mouth, right? I'm going to think about those teeth, so I'm going to kind of find like a center point. Now, unless you're Tom Cruise, your teeth are going to start right here in the middle. Next time you get a chance, go look up a picture of Tom Cruise. His teeth are in the middle of his face. It's terrifying.
Yeah, he has a center tooth. He doesn't have a...
Yeah, he's got like one big tooth in the middle. It's really weird. I'll put a picture online. It's crazy. All right, so I'm going to think about, again, kind of X-ray vision style, right? My gums kind of connects. So I'm going to say like 1 and 2. So notice, again, I'm going to see this little kind of triangle kind of show where my gum is appearing, right? Again, it does not have to be perfect. Now, again, I'm curving it, bringing it back into space. So then I got like number 2. See a little bit of gum. All right, maybe number 3. And he starts to fade out into the darkness. Starts to fade out. Okay. Then throw on a couple little guys in the bottom, maybe the front couple row, and again, they kind of fade into darkness as well. Yeah, it's a little twisted, don't get me wrong. It's definitely a little twisted. Yeah, here. Right, okay. Right? But again, all I'm saying is think about how, as you're going along, that these teeth fit inside this mouth. Bless you. But just think about, again, remember that you do have some gum showing, a little bit of gum. Right? And when in doubt, like I said, this is a template. So when in doubt, look at what other people around you, look at other photographs and stuff. What do they actually look like? You know, how are you smiling? Okay? So you've got your weird, twisted clown. But that'll give you that. Now, if you want to make somebody frown, do the exact same thing, only, whoa, upside down. The only thing that I will help you along the way with a frown, you're kind of on your own with this guy, but the only thing I'll help you along the way with a frown, again, same basic template. Those corners will drop down, so same thing, only in reverse. Why so sad? Right? So now he's kind of dropping down, but the key is this. Remember that you do have, in fact, a nose, right? And whenever you frown, look at somebody else, but whenever you frown, you get those gnarly looking jowl lines in there, right? So you're going to pull some of that skin from the edge of your nostril down to your mouth, and you're going to have a lot of cool wrinkles and stuff show up too. So don't forget to draw all these fun, gnarly looking wrinkles, okay? You can't frown? That's a good, it's because you're in this class, that's why.
I don't know how
I will show you. I frown every day of my life when I look at your homework. All right. So, other than no, I'm just kidding. Obviously. So, good on that. Like I said, practice a little bit. Again, just a template. If you want to make a weird vampire, go right on ahead. But I'll give you guys the rest of the day to practice. That being said, I've got one last video to kind of help you along.